Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Epic Speed Driver from Callaway.
Rich Lerner alongside a man who won 4 times on the PGA Tour, Nota Begay III. Nota, am I out of bounds if I say this was one of the greatest non-major championship Sundays in the history of the sport? Am I out of bounds with that?
Well, I certainly sat here and enjoyed the whole thing from start to finish, and just seeing the incredible tee shots of Bryson, but just being offset by all the wonderful putting that Patrick Cantlay exhibited this week. A bunch of records he set. It was the most strokes gained against the field of any player since the statistics been kept at over 14 shots against the field this week, and over 537 feet of putts made. Those are just 2 incredible things to sort of get your mind around.
Contrasting styles, to say the least. This was the rare case where the putter beat the pulverizer. And, Cantlay's not short off the tee. Here are the final details with this leaderboard from the BMW Championship outside of Baltimore. The crowds were absolutely jacked up, and for good reason. This went 6, count them, 6 playoff holes. Cantlay made 1 putt after the next that he had to have, and then finally put DeChambeau away on that 6th extra hole with yet another clutch birdie putt. His 5th win, and with a victory, he not only secures his place on the Ryder Cup team, but jumps to the top of the FedEx Cup standings, heading to the finale next week at East Lake. Patrick Cantlay, after it was all over.
I liked Bryson's chances of making that 6 or 8 footer up the hill or whatever it was. And yeah, I thought he was going to make that putt. I was maybe the only time that, I really thought I was done. But, he didn't make it. That's golf. So I played really well and just tried to focus on the task at hand all day. Even, some of the bad shots I hit today, just tried to reset and take it fresh from there.
Secondly, had you heard Patty Ice before, and is that going to be a hard nickname to live up to?
I don't know. That's the first time I heard it, but I got it all week. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 guys that followed me around, maybe all 4 days, and they just every hole screaming it. These were some of the most supportive, loudest fans I've ever experienced.
Well done.
All right, next we'll go to Jerry Coleman in Baltimore, 105.7, The Fan. Jerry, go ahead.
Patrick, congratulations. And about the Caves Valley experience, your thoughts on that and the way the course played throughout the not only the 4 rounds, but also the extra holes.
Yeah, I thought the course was great theater, obviously. Lots of birdies and a great finishing hole. It was easy. I knew it was going to play easy, and you were going to need to make a lot of birdies when I was playing the practice round. I mentioned to the guys it's going to be well into the 20s. And that's just mostly to do with it being as soft as it was. I think this golf course would be very different if it was firm. But it's wide, and there's not a ton of trouble, so it was a birdie fest out there, and it felt like your foot was on the gas from the word go.
Was there something going on between you and Bryson? The commentators were talking about an exchange that happened on 14.
He just wanted me to stop walking. We had just been told by the rules officials to kind of speed up, and I'm not always the fastest walker, so I was trying to get ahead and do my part. No big deal. That stuff kind of happens every once in a while out here.
All right, next question. We're going to go to Steve DeMeglio, USA Today. Steve?
Patrick, do you realize how good you putted this week? Your strokes gained, I guess, is the greatest mark ever since they started tracking in 2004.
Well, did it beat Kevin Na when he beat me, and it seemed like he was making everything on the planet?
Yes, it did. You had the highest mark, I think, in regulation 72 holes, 14.58 or 78 shots you picked up on the field.
Good, a little redemption then.
How good did it feel, that putter in your hand all week?
Yeah, it felt great. I actually switched to that putter through 2 rounds last week. So I think I took it out on Saturday last week. And I have been working with the guys over at Scotty Cameron all year since I got into this new putter. around maybe Wells Fargo was the first week I put this model in, and finally have one that feels absolutely perfect. And I can't thank those guys over at Scotty Cameron, Paul Vazanko and Jose enough. They just they sent me a ton of putters, and I got the magic one now.
It was the magic one, no doubt about it. So here are the 30 headed to East Lake. You'll see Patrick Reed. He does make it right on the number at 30, despite having missed because of the miss this week because of the recovery, double pneumonia. But it's Cantlay who begins on Thursday at East Lake in Atlanta. Richest prize in golf at stake with a 2-shot lead.
I think it's a tremendous advantage and well-earned, well-deserved. You work your way through the entire year to the top of the FedEx Cup points list. You get a little bit of a lead headed into the 72 grand finale, and it forces everybody to work a little bit harder, a little bit better to catch you.
You don't love the fours, obviously. You think, you know, Thomas at 5 under might have a crack at it.
I just think it's tough. It's tough simply because the East Lake course does not give up anything. It tests you in every single facet of your game. Players are going to have to shift gears from your northern colder weather types of grasses this week, your bent greens, your Poana fescues and bluegrass fairways. It's going all Bermuda now, so it's fast, it's tough, and you miss the fairway there. It's not going to be like it was this week, where you're going to be able to hit a lot of greens from the rough. You got to put the ball in play.
This golf course obviously was soft, and you could just swing away with impunity. But just want to sort of elaborate on what it takes to beat power and precision, the kind that DeChambeau put on display down at Caves Valley. You have to have the greatest putting week
It was the greatest statistical putting week that we've seen since they started keeping that particular strokes gained putting statistic. And you have to have a little bit of luck. If you just look at the number of putts that Bryson missed down the stretch, you had the 3 or 4 holes in finishing in regulation, and then he had a couple 2 or 3 good looks in the playoff to close this thing out. Wasn't able to convert. Patrick Cantlay hung in there, never stopped believing in himself, and was able to win the window. It wasn't like Bryson gave it away. I mean, Patrick went in there and knocked in a beautiful 15 to 16-foot putt.
Cantlay had been a winner before. In fact, 4 victories prior to the BMW Championship, but never a star. Right? He just was a flatliner. Didn't show a lot of personality.
Shining now.
Right. I think the whole perception of Cantlay obviously changed today.
Well, especially in that national spotlight on NBC Sports in the playoffs against a player as that gets as much attention as Bryson. When you're going up against someone that's just a worldwide sensation and you actually get to beat them when they're hitting these monumental, monstrous drives, it's going to put your name on the map.
He even has a nickname now, Patty Ice. we like it. Hey, just check out Ryder Cup situation. The top 6 have automatically qualified. Steve Stricker, the USA captain, will have 6 picks that he'll make Wednesday after the Tour Championship. Morikawa, Cantlay are rookies. He's got his hands full making that next batch of 6 picks.
He really does, but I mean, it's a little bit easier as, you know, those picks were basically designed to be able to give the captain a little freedom and latitude in the final 3 or 4 weeks of this selection process, and he's going to have to use them wisely.
You'd assume Finau, Xander Schauffele, Jordan Spieth are locked to get in. That means 7 guys will vie for 3 spots. What a day, though, for that guy, Patrick Cantlay.